Welcome, everybody, to the Breachers-Vrml Season 2, Week 3. My name's Nightfire with 2 E's, and today we are diving into the unknown. A question mark for me as we get into two teams new to the EU region, Wardogs and the Ronins. Both squads created as of Season 2 over on that EU side. Both squads with a bit of a interesting record. Wardogs in particular, I guess, really the ones with the interesting record, with 2 ties so far in this season. 1 win and 1 loss. The Ronins, in comparison, with 4 wins and 1 loss. And I think the connoisseur votes were leaning towards Wardogs, if I'm not mistaken. Let's take a look at where folks voted. Yeah, lots of folks going into the Wardog space. If I if I were looking at stats, I think the Ronins technically are the favorites this afternoon. But if you're a connoisseur, Wardogs is who you're rooting for. 33-3, and that tends to happen a lot. Teams are players really do pile on to one side or another. We do have an interesting divide today with Ragnarok and .com. That matchup also live on the YouTube channel. And sorry, just going the teams the ready ahead. So we got a multicast this afternoon. Multiple games to tune into here and catch if you are interested. And I'm seeing here, it looks like, I believe TRVR had 5, but now they only have 4. I wonder if they're going to be going into a 4v5 to start this map. Wouldn't be ideal, but they are just waiting on that 5th to connect, and then we should start. I think, though, everyone is ready. Map 1 looks like it's going to start us out at Hideout. And just trying to see if they are going to be able to get a 5th in. You can also dip into that reserve roster if you have to. If you don't have an extra player on your team, you can always reach out to players that are specifically signed up to substitute in for teams. They all have their own rankings, and certain players are available for certain teams. And it's a very helpful system in moments like this where you might need a 5th player, because especially if you're going to start on the attack like the Ronins-VR are going to, you don't want to be going into that 4v5. Your bot's essentially going to be slinging money right into the enemy's hands, especially going into round 2. They'll end up buying an SMG and just vaulting right into the objective space. So you kind of end up giving an SMG to the defending team if you have a bot on the attack in round 2. But since we are still waiting, I imagine that 5th is maybe just doing a quick restart. Because like I said, I thought I saw 5 in there from the Ronins-VR, so we'll just patiently wait. Yeah, we are. We're waiting for 1 player. And they have time. I think by regulation standards, they've got about 10 minutes before round 1 has to begin. So I don't think it's going to be that long. But once that 5th is in, we will be diving into the action. And again, it really is an unknown with these 2 squads, both of them coming in as new teams to Season 2. It's moments like these that I do like to check out, because it gives you it's a very interesting perspective on like what new, potentially, I suppose, new players look like that are coming into this game. You know, that's because there are a lot of new, there's a consistent amount of new people that come in to the VRML from preseason to Season 1 to now Season 2. We always see growth across our leagues, and especially with Breachers, it's been very strong growth. And so I think that's going to continue going in to Season 2, and it certainly has continued as we're seeing more teams than ever signing up for Breachers. I don't actually know what the total number is off the top of my head, but obviously with that LAN on the line, with the option of getting flown out to Denver, Colorado, July 20th and 21st. There's a lot to compete for. These teams on the EU side, unfortunately, don't have that as an option. That's what on the NA side that we're getting that live event. But I do love to see new EU teams also. And so yeah, it's going to be fun. It really is an unknown for me. I don't often get a chance to cast EU matches, and happy to showcase 2 new squads. These players, even the captain, new to to the VRML at least in season 2. So yeah, again, the unknown should be an interesting matchup, and again, just waiting on that 5th from the Ronins-Vrml to jump in, and then we should be underway. As time ticks down, though, we only got about 5 minutes left. Then we do have to start in to round number 1, regardless of how many players they have. I don't know if they know that specific rule, but either way, we're patiently waiting for that 5th, and then we will be getting into hideout for map 1. And I don't know. It's suppose while we wait, I might cut to a brief break, to be honest. I'm on my 3rd cast of the week and my throat's a little sore, so yeah, I think we might cut to a bit of a intermission here, and when the 5th joins in, we'll be going right into map 1. So stick around. Map 1 of this matchup between Wardogs and Ronins is coming up soon.
Stream Elements. Dios Benzi is now live. Streaming Breachers-Wardogs vs de Ronins-Vrml círculo rojo grande directo círculo rojo grande.
We are back and ready to get into map number 1 between Wardogs and the Ronins, starting us off at hideout. And on the attack, we have the Ronins VR. On defense, the Wardogs. And our first objective going to take us into that middle floor. We got 3 on objective side and 2 on the roam. We've seen some very effective late-stage roams lately. I feel like just in yesterday's match in particular, there was a lot of big roams coming into play there. I think the kill leader, I'm blanking on the name, almost had 20 kills and was mostly off objective when defending, so. Obviously also something you would typically scan for. Ooh, that's a lot of drone time spent sending that thing down. But does get them in, does get an eye through to the hallways, finds nothing really set up in the basement of A, and that's going to open up that stair option for them. Open up that A wall and potentially push in there. They do identify a Russell, and the roam from Blazabia could be a good roam, and there's the first kill coming through, make it a double. No, Commandant's able to rotate back as Blazabia had to reload. Two roamers are finally coming around now, down from the stairs. Kaiser comes flying in, plunges right into Draffy, scoops up a nice kill, guarding that flank. If they open up that A wall, they've really got a great opportunity to push in here right now as they're stacked up. One off objective. Another actually unable to rotate down to this team, and Logan catches that roamer on the stairs, so sight could easily be opened up, and down comes Suey Wield, and they'll get picked off. Draffy catches shots through the wall, good pings and communication. Oh, and that wall had been opened up, so I thought it was through the wall, but just through the shoulder of the table there. And some good pickups from Logan, defending the flank, and now really opening up base site. Ronins-Vrml got 3 to the 2 of Wardogs on defense. And the pistol round certainly opening up to be exciting. 25 seconds left in a late stage play from the Ronins-Vrml, and a nice smoke that's going to deny vision out of that B side. It allows for the bomb to land. A good nade that almost catches Frank Morris down. 4 Russell swings in. The EMP plant doesn't get stuck in time, and a triple kill for Russell. 4-4 Russell. Ends with Wardogs taking that defensive round, and what was a good, strong setup gets ultimately overwhelmed by a cyclone and a strong push back from the defense. Orals coming in. Interesting. 3 oral buys. I don't think I've seen that. Like, ever. In a round 2, I don't think I've ever seen a triple oral buy. It's interesting. I mean, in comparison, I think, yeah, they're in it. I mean, it's all your money. So you're going to have to carry those, like, to make that investment worth it. The idea is that if you're going to buy into this round, what you buy into is something you want to carry with to the next round, so that you're doubling your investment. You're making that investment value for 2 rounds. By buying an oral, it means that in round 3, if they win or lose, and they carry that rifle through, they will not be able to even buy a Vezin. In comparison, the Ronins-Vrmls are ecoing right now off of a round loss, and so no matter what happens to them, their team will be able to buy into Vezins. So essentially, you're putting yourself into a position where, after investing into an oral, after this round, even if you carry your investment through, you're taking an oral against a Vezin. And I think that's typically an unfavorable matchup towards the orc. Ooh, and that nade could have been devastating. Kaiser actually finds some good damage on theirs. Did they throw two? Because that second nade... Oh, no, they did throw a good nade. That was a nade from the offense. I understand now. As they rotate back, they get scooped up. Lazabia finishes off the stairwell roamers, and a nice two-piece there puts the Ronins-VR. Their backs against the wall. A good nade down there. Half health Logan. Trafile rotates out nicely. Russell trying to catch some shots through the wall there, and the duo is trapped in an interesting spot. With that door blocker there in particular, they have a lot to worry about. They have to get rid of that door blocker to really make this bottom spot a comfortable defense. And even then, the EMP's on the top floor being defended right now. That door blocker is still such a major threat. At least there's two rifles, but still super low HP for the Ronins. And at this stage, it would be, best to eco and try and just hold on to these rifles. That door blocker is going to drop soon. Russell gets exposed, and a nice headshot there. A huge kill, honestly, that allows the Ronins to, again, hold on to this investment. So they are trying to carry these through to the next round. They're prioritizing losing this round in order to carry these rifles through. So they basically exactly what I'm saying was it was something they understood. They were trying to go 3 orals into this round. And I'm surprised to see on the Wardog side, instead of Vezins, we see off meta buys. I mean, I suppose not surprised to see. But I do wonder if new players are gravitating to the oral over these more expensive guns like the Vezin and the Marui. Didn't they have 2 orals? Couldn't they go... Oh, okay, yeah, no. Interesting. Wait, are those... Yeah, those are orals, right? Not Maruis. Yeah. Wonder what chat's thoughts are on this. Logan scooping up the first kill after opening up the outside of A's site, getting rid of the roamer. And a good bit of utility here from the Wardog defense. I'm very curious to see if Ronins are going to be ready for those trip mines when they open up that site, how they're going to deal with the static emitter. And they've got a health syringe there as Logan finds another kill. Kaiser going down. That's 2 on this round. 3 more to make it the ace. Oh, and a rotation from basement floor of all places. Sui catches one. They may run into more too, and they do. Frank goes down. Jab is able to find that kill. And we're into a 2v2 now. Javi. Javi mad. Ooh, and Russell with the Cadillo finds the headshot. Oh, and Javi getting some damage dealt there. Through the wall, and Alex will find the full kill with that oral. Wardogs up 3-0 out the gate, and well, I would have bet on the Ronins at the start looking at stats. Wardogs have the investment of the, again, the connoisseurs, a lot of 33-3 voting on Wardogs winning this. And both teams have only had 1 loss technically. Wardogs have had 2 ties, and if anything, that should tell you that Wardogs are a team that really fight hard throughout an entire series. You know, there's no easy wins against them, and so I think the Ronins, after 4 wins in their first season in the VRML and only 1 loss, are finding some tougher opponents now. You know, Wardogs are definitely giving the Ronins a good run for their money this afternoon, and both squads, like I mentioned at the start of the stream, essentially brand new to the VRML. This is really a good sort of look at 2 new teams filled with new players joining the EU side, the EU region, and just really kind of starting, from my impressions, to get into the competitive side of the Breachers and VRML. So, you know, like I've been saying, in terms of like the different weapon choices and whatnot, I think there's a lot of room to grow as players, but it's also kind of fun to watch some different weapons used here as Kaiser flies up, scoops a double up with the oral. If they want to get any more aggressive, Frank is trapped there in the corner. They're going to rely on the drone to identify that, and Kaiser will wave to the drone as they hold this door entry, unafraid of this team. Frank's going to prime a nade, tries to bounce it off the shoulder of the doorway, but Kaiser rotates off in time. That actually would have been a fantastic nade onto anyone that was using the defending from the back of those crates. So pretty nice job in the pinch from the back of Drafio there. And Russell goes down, getting a little bit overconfident on those rotations. Does get an immolation nade tossed, but that won't do a whole lot. And 2v4 out the gate early. Wardogs starting to feel the flow and get aggressive on defense on the hunt for these kills and finding them ultimately. Reminder that we have multiple games live this afternoon, so if you do want to check out another game casted by Gibular Bob and Gravix and one other person joining them, I don't know what the whole team is, but there's a nice jump in, unafraid of the static emitter, taking that static emitter damage. 6 and 2 from Drafty so far, and now they're into the backside of A. That audio transmitter is going to be a problem. Keeps giving info away to Alex in particular that this player is tucked in back here. And a nice immolation, he catches the shoulder. Rafai, though, limited, but swings the short corner, catches Alex out. That Viper coming in big. And that audio transmitter really pretty good, giving a lot of info. Kaiser finally able to finish off the threat there, and Wardogs are looking to get their 4th round of map 1. Oh my, Kaiser perfectly reading that rotation, heard the footsteps very likely outside, and swings out to catch the kill. A nice bit of aggression that, again, puts Wardog up 4-0. Solid bit of gameplay from them. We'll throw the scoreboard up here. is only map 1, but it could be done in 2 maps if Wardogs have anything to say about it. They, of course, still have 2 rounds in the first half and then 1 more round for a total of 7 if they do want to try and take this first map. And they do have the momentum. I think what the Ronins are going to have to watch for now, especially in these last 2 rounds with a lot of money into that winning hand of Wardogs. You're going to have to watch out for the aggressive moves and the aggressive utility placements. We are seeing Drafty here. It is looking underneath for the trip mine. Looking for that laser. Doesn't see it. Either that or looking for some ankles to bite here once that round starts. But 7 and 3 so far from them on map 1. Pretty dang solid for the losing team. Ronins have been coming close in a lot of these rounds, so they certainly have been contesting Wardogs most of the way through this series, but it still is, at the end of the day, a 4-0 lead from the Wardog side. And a nice start from Commandant Logan. We've seen this before, though. There was a door blocker there. It's now gone. And a bottom floor roamer for a minute disrupts the Ronin-VR rotation, and they'll push here. See, we very well could find an angle, and they will. Logan goes down. Using that VRML gun skin, which we love to see, and another swing. See, he catches a second. Is Frank aware that this rotation is happening? Well, they don't need to be. Drafio will finish that up, drop out and catch the kill, turns it into a 3v3. Not sure where that nade came from, but now it's time for the Ronins to push objective, as that is where the rest of the Wardogs are. 2 Vezins and a Marui in their hands as well. In comparison, though, 2 Vezins and an Oral over on the Ronins, so pretty even matchup here going into the last minute of this round. Oh, and Frank, with the EMP in one hand, gets caught out. Was trying to push into the smokes. Gets denied the entrance there. Oh, and Drafio catches a nice headshot onto Russell. Door blocker there, actually a pretty substantial threat. Does mean that Balazabia could swing out pretty aggressively and challenge the stay side rotation. That's a bad nade, and oy vey, that hurts Drafio quite substantially. A 1-for-1 with a trip mine and a oral trade means the EMP's into the hands of Drafio. Now 9 and 3 with an EMP plant here on A site, and they hear Balazabia on this rotation. They know they're here on the corner, but they weren't expecting them to be crouched. Wardogs gonna lock in another round W. Has to get the defuse. Hopefully they know that. They don't have a lot of time. And that's their 5th round in the books. Wardogs looking good here in map 1. Out the gate, and fortunately, because of the consecutive loss bonus, the Ronins-VR have enough cash to full buy here into this final round, and they really need to get this one round on the board for them on the offense. It's going to put them into a great spot where they can then essentially do what Wardogs have done and put up a solid defense on their set on their side. If they don't get this 1 point, the best they can do is tie this map. And while Wardogs are certainly familiar with tying, I don't imagine they're going to want to let this strong of a lead go. So, pretty important round. Otherwise, again, we go to the pistol round, and that's going to be map point. for Wardogs. So full buys, everyone investing everything they have on both sides. A lot of utility should be coming in from that Wardog side. And a pretty good nade, honestly, tossed underneath. We've seen good placement, good map knowledge. At the end of the day, though, you're seeing how hard it is to execute as a team in this game. Alex finds a double kill there as they do send themselves in one at a time. I did pick up on objective, though, and in the chaos, Wardogs with Seaweed flying in through the hatch on the back end absolutely overwhelm the Ronins-Vrml on their push. Make it a quick defensive set, 6-0, swap sides, reset economies, and get their chance at attack and to lock in map number 1 with a commanding 7-0 victory. The connoisseurs certainly are feeling good, and I'm feeling a little foolish on my initial impression of where this match might go. But this is only map 1, map 2, and potentially map 3 still to come, and maybe a shift up even in the sides could be what what the Ronin need on this defense side. Oh, I do wonder. Something happened on my side? I think so. Let's try and troubleshoot this on my end. I think the server crashed. Let me actually try restarting my entire... Do some technical troubleshooting here on this end. I think it's just on my side because I haven't seen a message yet from the players. Oh, but now I don't see the server, but maybe they finished the round. I wonder. Do bear with me here as I try and solve the technical elements on my side. Okay, just solving the technical elements because it was a server crash, so they're gonna have to remake the lobby, and essentially we will just because we got to the half, fortunately, we can remake and start back on hideout with teams on the same sides, and essentially it'll start 0-0, but it'll be 6-0. And if Wardogs win one round, then we'll quit out of that lobby and get ready for map number 2. Otherwise, the Ronins will have a chance to put up 6 rounds on defense, and that'll be what's required of them if they want to try and tie in this first map. I'm just trying to... Again, apologies. Do bear with us on the technical difficulty side. Sometimes these things happen. I think we might have to go to an intermission while they solve this, because I think they're probably reaching out to a mod, as they should, to confirm what their plan is, but that's what they should be doing. So when we come back, it'll be probably the last... Oh, it's on a different... I see. Oh, I don't have to go anywhere. I think they're almost ready to go. We should be jumping into... Yeah. That last round of map 1 soon enough. I think Wardogs start on attack and Ronin's on defense. But yeah, it's taking a little time for the players to get back into lobby and probably communicate what's going on. I don't know, necessarily know what the language barrier is either. I think this is a Portugal and a Spanish team. So hopefully there isn't too much of one, and Alex certainly knows what's going on, so they can convey it to the rest of the squads. But yeah, I think I will go to a break while we wait. When we come back, it'll be last round of map 1. Thank you for patiently waiting. It was some very interesting server problems that we ran into there, but it seems we have hopefully solved them for now, and we should be able to finish up map number 1 of this series. Wardogs technically with 6 on map 1, but because we've had to reset We're into a fresh 0-0, and so if at any point Wardogs win a round, we'll then have to remake the lobby again to play out map 2. At least that's the plan. Could be quick, could be long. We'll see if Ronins can put some defensive rounds on the board. Oh my gosh, and what a great ping just in time. Logan catches one with the nade, but Plazabia able to get that refrag. And Alex and Russell here getting suppressed by Drafio on the upstairs floor. We have a fight, and Drafio gets chunked down big. Russell pushes forward to finish that off. They'll foam down. The X-Wall opened that up, but there's a static emitter slowing them from entering. 3 on defense to the 3 attacking. No one on any roaming position, so it's going to be on objective fights from here on out. Great nade if anyone was there. Things do come in, though. Players are identified on both angles. And as they suppress, Alex is going to go for the EMP plant. Seaway catches one on the back. A big headshot there, but here comes the flank from Frank Morris. They've caught one. They're looking for 2. They get Seaway down, and now Alex is a slice of health and has to hold this defense down in a 1v1. EMP defuse needed by Frank Morris. Alex just needs to buy time, and it is ticking down. Eventually, Frank's going to have to go for this defuse. They don't know where Alex is. The one-handed shot doesn't connect. They really just had to land one pistol shot to anywhere on that body, and Alex would have gone down. But that'll be it. That is Wardogs taking map number 1. Officially 7-0 on that first map.
Masket-memes. Win prediction.
And let me update scores. There we go. 7-0 out the gate there, and a solid pistol set from the Wardogs side. Where do we go for map 2 is the question. I wouldn't mind Arctic, quite frankly. I haven't seen that one in a while. Really since week 1. I think we had it actually last week. But I haven't had an Arctic pick this week. Always down for one. Oh, and again, appreciate everyone bearing with us through the technical issues and my blank stares as I have to type in passwords and lobby codes and notify teams. There's a lot going on behind the scenes that we do try and keep hidden from you all. But yeah, a solid start here for Wardogs. This is definitely looking like it could be their second win of this season. This team really has had a tough start to their regular season when you look at their record. 1-1-2. Oh, no, that's Ronins, excuse me. Oh, interesting. Wardogs are the ones that are 4-1. I've been getting that mixed up in my mind. Well, Wardogs are looking to pile on then. Yeah, I would have gone with the Ronins on my vote, honestly, because Ronins really were showing that they're a team that fights. And every bit of their way through their series. And even now, I feel like Wardogs shouldn't be getting too overconfident in themselves. It was a solid Map 1 victory, but this Ronins team is going to be a team that I think can bounce back from losses, and depending on the map picks, could have a very different outcome. Arctic has they've won the one time they've played it, they've won at 7-0 with a 100% win rate there. So Arctic could be in play. I imagine it was probably banned though by one of these teams. So if it slips through the cracks, then we could very well be heading to Arctic for map 2. But we've got everyone in lobby, and I don't know. Have they voted on the map yet? No, they're still choosing map, and then we will be getting in to it. But where are we headed? That's the big question. Where are the Ronins going to take us? Oh, interesting. Looks like map 2 is going to be another tried and true favorite. We're headed to Factory. We've got Wardogs on the attack, Ronins on defense to start things off on Factory, and that could be a little bit risky for the Ronins. You often would feel that starting on defense kind of gives you that edge where you could come out with that early advantage, but Wardogs, I think, are going to be setting the pace here this afternoon on the attack. They've obviously won strong in map 1 7-0, and we're going into map 2 here. They're confident. They're on stream for the first time, I think, in the 5 games they've played all season, and they're eager to get another win locked in. So into the action we go for round 2, map 2, excuse me. A bit of a fight early over A-site doorway. And some good damage is dealt to Russell. No health syringes are in play, and Kaiser opens up B-site entirely. They're at B-site. No one here to defend. If only they had the rest of the team or the EMP. And Kaiser's going to get completely behind this defense. Plaza 10 goes down. Commandant's going to rotate now with this threat behind them. Tries to find the headshots and does connect nicely. Another goes down, though, as Lazabia, Strafio finding Russell. We're trading back and forth just outside of sight and inside sight. Where's the EMP? It's on Alex, who's outside right now. Coming in from either the team or Lazabia, but they knew Commandant was there, and they find that kill. Leaves Drafio, who was a standout shooter last map, as the lone survivor for the Ronins. And with EMP planted, they are going to push in. This is a good route to take, though, because Alex likely is going to vault out for the window. Ooh, no, doesn't rotate out through that window. That makes Drafio assume that there could be one there just defending already if they didn't prioritize and putting one there. It's a pretty standard spot you'd go to defend this EMP plant. You typically wouldn't go to the back of B to defend the AEMP, and that throws off Drafio on their rotation. A nice rotate there from Alex, from Blazabia that catches that final kill, and Wardogs are up 1-0 on Factory out the gate. That's their pistol set, and the orals coming in. Viper and the 2 Vezins getting scooped up by Wardogs. You would typically throw those Vezins to someone like Seaway, who would hold on to their cash, maybe by a pistol, and they would toss some attachments onto those rifles. Seaway instead goes into a Cadillo, and it is a full buy from this Wardogs team. They are feeling confident going in to this map too. The orals coming out again from both Alex and Seawield. I don't know. I mean, you know, players right at the high level in particular really do write off the, or maybe rightfully so, maybe, but you know, really write off the any other gun that's not a Vezin. SMGs are certainly more popular because they're cheaper, but yeah, interesting to see the orals coming into play here in this EU matchup. Very different gun choices than we normally see on the NA side, at least. I don't get a lot of EU matchup cast-off opportunities either. Blazabia is feeling confident, has the active camo, has the Vezin in hand, is flying in the side, catches a bit of damage. Just to their shoulder, though, and they're fine. Active camo comes back on, and they continue their push into A's side. They take full control now. EMP's planted as well, and it's simply defense. Plaza manages to catch Russell swinging in. Morris finds Blazabia on the rotate. Those are two big kills. A rifle that's down that Frank could pick up as well. The trouble is, of course, they need to get rid of the other defenders, and Seawield's there ready to take that out. As the time ticks down, Frank not likely to get the defense. Tries for a nade toss. Unfortunately, won't catch anyone there. And we'll get punished for that swing. The oral finds the head of Frank Morris, and that is 2-0 out the gate. For Wardogs on the attack, they have certainly set the pace. Their investment returned somewhat, but 3 rifles out of the 5 were lost there. They did manage to carry an oral and a Vezin through with them, which is big, but it still means that they're buying a lot here into this round. So if Ronins can win this round, they have a chance of really damaging Wardogs' entire economy. It's why you would typically, you know, the meta would dictate that for that last round, Ronins buy nothing. And then going into this round, Ronins 4 out of 5 rifle buy. And take those 4 out of 5 rifles up against Cadillos and orals. 2 Vezins, but you could have 4 Vezins up against 5 less, arguably less powerful weapons. And at a meta, purely from a meta perspective, you would have the advantage. And you would be able to, that advantage, if you win, would mean you do exceptional damage to the team and their economy because of how much they've invested here themselves. The math of cash is something I've mastered at this point, but I do always kind of wonder what happens if you go with this buy or that buy. And we are seeing the implications of the damage to the economy. As Seaway here gets picked up by Javi. The Viper doing some work for the Ronins, but the Cadillo finding its target for Russell. Has EMP been planted? No, not yet. Alex is going to go for it, though, and Draffy is going to consider peeking. Stops Alex for a moment, and as they swing out, they'll go down. The EMP doesn't get planted. Means Russell has to come out from their window spot. Turn the knob just a small fraction of a touch to get it to hit the right wavelength. And when they do that, they'll be notified to Draffy, and, well, Draffy's going to find the first kill in the first round for the Ronins all series. They don't need rifles to win against Wardogs. Interesting buy, and Vipers are what get them that round W. I suppose at this stage, when these players, you know, when both teams are filled with players that are new to the league and maybe even new to the game, you know, the importance of the meta doesn't necessarily shine as strong. You know, the importance of that little bit of extra damage on a rifle doesn't stand out as much. And, you know, you're able to find success with off-meta tools like Viper's Orals. And that's just ultimately good game design. At a real core reflection of, you really think about it, that's how you want your game to be. You want it to be easy for new players to get into across the board. But then at the high level, there is meta choices and, you know, very different way of thinking about playing the game. You know, and we're seeing here this afternoon, which is fun, which is why I wanted to tune into these new squads. We're seeing how new players approach this game in a lot of ways. I don't know how necessarily they're new to the game, but at least new to competitive. And the VRML scene, at least. Nice hold from Morris. The Viper paying dividends again. Catches Seaway down. And a site gets opened up. Kasha finds one. The nade from Russell picks up two on the back end. And just like that, they've got the advantage. An interesting nade there that doesn't get identified by Russell. They don't realize that's from the stairs, and Logan finds the kill themselves. Logan now is alone, though, as the EMP has been planted. Everyone from Wardogs is tucked in. It is retake time for Logan with Viper in hand. Oh no, and doesn't find the kill. Ends up going down, and the EMP going off. Wardogs locking in their third round on their offensive set. But again, you know, like it has been really all series, Ronins are doing a solid job of finding kills and fighting back against Wardogs this afternoon. 5 kills for Logan, maintaining a positive kill-death ratio despite being down 2 rounds. And everyone else finding kills so far in this series on Ronin's side. Wardogs, Kaiser leading with 7 kills, Russell with 5, but Ronins are right there. They are close on these rounds. On defense, they're just not quite able to lock them in, and let's see what they put together for round number 5 of map 2. Wardogs getting closer and closer to locking in another series win and going 5-1 on the start of season 2 for them, just entering into the EU side. Certainly would be an ideal start. They definitely will be getting a challenging opponent next week if they do come out on top here this afternoon. So really, either team going to have an interesting, tough opponent next week because they are very evenly matched here this afternoon, or very close, feels like at least. As again, Ronin have found several kills despite losing rounds. Wardogs now, as I say that, tied into a 4-4. As they both lose 1, trying to work their way into the backside of B&A. You don't really often see a garage push, and I think it's because it's so dangerous. There are so many potential defensive angles that players can take in that garage. Nobody is home, though, and we do have a fight through the hole in the wall. That does go the way of Commandant Logan. Picks up a double with a Viper. Plaza finds another, and it leaves Balazabia alone. In a 1v3, no less. They'll get picked up by aggression from the Ronins. And their second round goes on the board. A solid hold, and this time they do capitalize on finding the kills they need in the late rounds. Where are Wardogs at on buys? They're halfway there. 3 Vezins and some Vipers. It's going to be somewhat similar to the Ronins, but we're seeing 4 Vezins come in there. And a Viper. And it is the final round, so if there's ever a time to spend all the cash you could, now is it. I say final round of the first half. After this round, we reset economies and swap sides, and Wardogs get their hand at defense. And we saw them defend pretty solidly on a hideout, but Ronin are getting their foot in the door here with some rounds, and they very well could tie this first half 3-3 if they play their cards right on this next defensive round. They have the economic advantage by a long shot, and they managed to put a bit of utility here as well. Ooh, and the trip mine. No, Frank finds the kill first. I thought that was a trip mine. Oh, and Javi can't rotate off that breach fast enough. Big pickup from Kaiser. Going to open up a site. They'll run into a static emitter. But where is EMP? That's the question. Commandant's tucked in. They've found multiple kills so far today. They very well could find more. But it's going to have to be all 4. They find 1. Can't get the second. They go down to the rush, and Wardogs take 4 on their offensive set. Bouncing back from a couple of round losses there. Regaining a bit of that momentum and swapping sides. Resetting economies and going into a pistol round. Interested to see what if this shift inside maybe what Wardogs need, or if the Ronins are going to be able to put up a good contest. But 3 points is all that Wardogs need to take this series win and go 5-1 on the start of their season 2. That's, again, a great opening to the season. I mean, you can't really ask for much better. Obviously, an undefeated record would be great, but as a new team coming into the region, that's pretty solid. It is pretty solid, and I mean, again, Ronins are doing well to contest this squad that has been, winning in their early weeks of Season 2. The play. They're going to invest a bit here into opening up into the top floor. But nobody is positioned up on that top floor. Kaiser's road is on the stairs, I suppose, but no one's getting too aggressive. Frank actually doing damage to themselves somehow on that breach. Seems like a lot of self-damage from a breach, but has the flank. Gets 1, though. The reload from Frank here, and Frank catches this refrag. It's going to be all the kills from the Ronin. And on their attacking pistol round, they'll clear out the Wardogs' defense. That's a big start for them. We could be headed to the distance. We could be going the distance this afternoon. We could be going to 3 maps. if that's how Ronin are going to be, Wardogs are going to defend, I think. Yeah, Ronin have a chance on the attack. They'll be investing pretty heartily into this round too. 4 Vipers and a Taurus. Man. It's a lot of cash investment. If they don't find the kills they need, their economy is going to be in rough shape for the foreseeable, for the next few rounds. So, pretty important. If they win this, though, they tie it up 4-4 and obviously go into a very good position. Good fly in from Logan. Ronins are really setting the pace in their attacks. Really nicely coordinated so far. Russell finds a big frag. Plaza gets chunked down big by a nade. They'll be able to be picked up by pistols. Puts Ronins down to 3. As Logan leans just over the edge there, they will be able to get the EMP plane. Alex finds one. The smoke comes out. Logan gets picked up through the smoke by Alex. A beautiful pistol kill. Can they find the third? They don't. Blazabia takes it. But it's Wardogs on a big comeback round, and oh no. Ronins are in a bad spot. SMGs is all they'll be able to pick up going up against, I mean, I guess SMGs, so it's not the worst case for them, but one Vezin did get carried through by Wardogs. And Blazabia does have enough to buy another Vezin themselves. So we got 3 rifles coming through on Wardog's side, but still not a, I mean, we'll see. This buy, though, is very risky for Ronin. If they lose this round and they don't take these SMGs through, even if they win, really, and they take them through. If they lose, though, they won't get it. They will have very little cash. It'll be their second round loss bonus, and they'll have to do this buy again, but that could be the last round. I think economy a big element in this game that you don't obviously focus a ton on until you do start to get deeper into a regular season, start to play with the team a little more consistently, understand what their preferences are, what kind of guns they like. Are you a Taurus user? Do you excel with an Omen? Can you be the standout shooter with a Vezin? And right here on display are the risks of pushing this garage. It is very hard to eliminate all the angles that you can cover. And Blazabia is in a very difficult spot to root out. Javi's able to do it, but at the cost of a lot of their health. I don't know what Ronin have on the syringe front, but Kaiser will find that Javi doesn't get the chance to heal regardless. Good watch on that doorway, and Ronin are into a 4v4. They have managed to get past the initial second floor defense, though. think Russell should hear this, and I think they call that out. So Seaway tries to rotate, but gets caught out by Drafio watching for that rotation. Very good work by the Ronin on this push right now. Minute 17 on the clock. Oh, and a flash that tried to catch Kaiser, but Kaiser with a good lean there. Using that oral range to their advantage against Vipers. Catches the first kill and some health onto Plaza. Turns this into a 3v3. Also puts a pause on the initial movements here because that was EMP. Down there. I don't know if they know they have EMP down. Oh, and Alex tosses a nade through the doorway to catch that kill. To defend. Has the rifle in hand. The Viper finds its target. I say rifle, but it was an SMG. And 6-3 as Wardogs fend off again. A seemingly well thought out Ronin's push. And here we go again into what could be the final round with a limited buy opportunity for Ronins. Not terrible, though. A Vezin, Oral, and 3 Vipers, I imagine, is going to be what's in order for this squad, but it's not a full buy, not compared to the double Marui Vezins of Wardogs right now. Seaway is trying to get very aggressive up against this Ronin squad. Don't want to be giving them free options like that, but very much did. An Oral that can get converted from an SMG into a rifle there for the Ronins too could be advantageous. Plaza will drop the Omen. No, they're going to hang on. Site definitely seems to be the play. Man, one good nade tossed through that hole would be devastating to this Ronin squad, but they're fortunate that that utility isn't coming in. And there is a nade toss. Strappy trying to read it, but goes the wrong way, almost into the nade. Oh, the flank from Lazavia, a triple that absolutely shuts down a site push. And as Russell swings out, Wardogs take the map win from the hands of Ronins, and the series locked in off of a great retake from Lazavia through the stairs. Did not see that one coming. That was the long wait on the flank, and it shuts them down. Wardogs are done in 2, just like that. 7-0, map 1, 7-3, map 2. Shout out to everyone tuning in and bearing with us through the technical difficulties. And a reminder, there's another match live right now on this channel, so I hope you go straight over to there and give Gibular Bob and Graphics some love. But a fun series to tune into and a good look at the new players jumping into VRML on the EU side in particular. A shout out to both teams for playing and giving us a good showing this afternoon, and can't wait to see more. Very interested to see how these teams develop and where they stand at the end of Season 1. That'll be it for me, though, at the desk. My name is Ben Nightfire with 2 E's. Thank you all for tuning in. Until next time, stay classy.
Suscríbete y dale like. Suscríbete y dale like. Suscríbete y dale like. Suscríbete.